with the one exception, in the last 3 years or so being that Penn State game, which, again, there are similarities here.
Hello, friends. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind. This roadshow presented to you by Alpha Paving. They're an award-winning paving contractor service in Texas, ready to deliver excellent customer service, meticulous project management, and quality workmanship for all of your asphalt and concrete needs. Their projects include retail, office, multifamily, and industrial for notable clients such as the Dallas Cowboys, HEB, and Graystar. Visit alphapaving.com and let them get to work for you. Justin Lanham here with me. He works at Alpha Paving. He likes the Cowboys, I think, right?
I do.
He likes the Mavericks.
I do.
He likes Texas A&M even more.
That's right.
Buddy, how was this experience for you? Your first roadie with TexAgs.
Man, it's been great. The flight was good. I thought,
Oh, that's nice. You got to take a plane while we drove. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that.
yeah, I don't want to rub that in too much, but flight was good, and then I felt like the show was great this morning.
It was. You weren't able to listen because you were right over there, other than when you could hear what I was saying in OB. But we had Billy Liucci on to close out the show. He was phenomenal. We had Coach Schloss on. Bronny helped me with that interview back at the mothership. Robin Washut, he covers Nebraska, and he had some great stuff out there. And then during the show with OB, we talked about A&M's future opponents in football 2025. But the bottom line is, getting back to basketball for a quick second.
Sure.
If A&M can assert their athleticism, they'll be in good shape, correct?
Yeah, and a lot of times you think that means offensively, but if we can assert our physicality defensively too, be physical with guys coming off screens, be physical, pushing them off the three-point line, then I think I like our chance. But we have to be physical. We have to win the rebound war. And then look, we have to knock down some shots.
Yeah.
I don't think we can not knock down shots and win this game. So, because they're going to get threes. It's not that we're going to completely hold them to no threes.
All right. Justin Lanham there. This is the Rewind. Check it out. OB, let's talk about that 2025 schedule. No Bama, no Georgia.
Okay.
I would say not a bad home schedule. I mean, we're so far away and, rosters change, in a day. But here's what you got at home. Auburn.
Okay.
Florida.
Low. All right.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
I'm missing one. Who am I missing? I only have 3 written down here. Away, Arkansas.
Okay.
LSU. Missouri. And Texas.
All right.
I mean, if Missouri continues being one of these top
Was
teams,
that Arkansas game going to still be in Dallas?
this says, no, I think this
It's
is,
actually,
wait, is this the last year of, I'm pretty sure this is the last year of Dallas. Fairly sure.
it started in 14. I thought it was a 10-year deal, but then they have to pay one back because of the COVID year.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I should know this. Nick, if you
There's
can,
going to be a lot of driving that year.
yeah.
They are
Nick, do a little research.
in
just to confirm that.
2025. They will be in Fayetteville.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I
Okay.
don't-
All right. There you go. So
You think they'll make us drive to Fayetteville?
why did you say that? Bro, how far is Fayetteville? 6 hours? 5 hours?
It's probably closer than Memphis.
Yeah.
Probably.
So you ruined it. Hopefully they forget that we're discussing.
I know we'll be driving to LSU. We'll be driving to Texas.
Look, you can't use 1 year as a barometer for what a roster is going to look like the next year or the year
No.
after, right? But you can look at program tradition and where they're trending. Is Missouri still going to be one of those teams? They're supposed to be really good this year. They got a bulk of their team. I'm not sure who's coming back just that without the transfer portal aspect
Yeah,
of it,
right.
right? But I would hope their arrow's pointing down. I would hope. Texas is going to be around, right? That's going to be the Arch Manning year, probably.
Yeah.
All right. LSU is LSU.
They're always going to be good.
And Arkansas will probably be under a new head coach.
So that's kind of the one of the benefits of this lineup for them is, Casey is their leading scorer, and he's, by far the best game changer they have on the roster. But, he's only averaging, 14, 15 points per game right now. And they don't have a single player inside the top 25 in the Big Ten in scoring, but they have 5 or 6 guys that can lead them in scoring on any given night. So the versatility they have offensively is something they pride themselves on. Rink Mass, the center, like I talked about, he had 34 against Ohio State. Bryce Williams, he's had multiple 20-point efforts. He's an interesting guy in that he was recruited as a wing, had never really played point guard before, but Nebraska didn't have a true point guard on their roster. And a lot of that is because they had a kid, Aaron Eulis, a transfer from Iowa, who was ruled ineligible during that Iowa gambling investigation. And so they were kind of left without a true point guard. And so about midway through the season, Bryce Williams shifted over to that lead guard role, and he's really flourished ever since. And so that gives him kind of a 6'7", 215-pound point guard who can do a lot of different things. So he's right at the top of, you want to make a list of their best players. Casey is probably their best scorer. I'd make the case Bryce Williams is their best player just because of everything he does and the importance of the role that he plays. Rink Mass is right in there, like I said, because he's a 6'11" big that shoots, upwards to 35% from 3-point range. And so he's able to lure opposing bigs out onto the perimeter, which creates a lot of open space. And Casey, with his 3-point shooting, lures defenses out to create a lot of different spacing. And so the ripple effect, if teams focus on Casey or they focus on Rink, Nebraska has other guys that can exploit the matchups that are created by the attention those two guys get. So it's hard to say like who's the next option. Those guys are certainly at the top of the list, but
yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. They have they've only struck out 139 times. They've walked 132, and they've been hit 27 times. So they have more walks and hit batters than they do strikeouts. And they've stolen 28 bases, 28 for 31, which is a great percentage. That's more running than maybe they've done in the past. And then Jordan is super hot. He's a great player. He knows the strike zone. He's got 11 homers, 7 doubles. So 33 of his hits or 18 of his 33 hits are extra bases. So he's a future big leaguer, and we have a lot to deal with. And then pitching wise, they're even though their number one starter's out, they're doing a much better job. They have a new pitching coach. He's doing a great job of kind of corralling all of that. So it's an Omaha caliber club. This is the Mississippi State of potentially the Mississippi State that won a national title. So I know they've been down. They're very motivated, and they're feeling really good about themselves.
When I look at their pitching staff, Coach, it's very versatile. You got the St. Jones Sunday, and everybody knows about him being both-handed, but they also have some guys that come out of the bullpen that offer up some different looks. And go back and watching their series against LSU, and it was a lot of high ride fastballs at the top of the zone. How much do you go into a series kind of looking for trends and say, okay, this is what they've done in the past. Let's see if they're going to try to use that against us to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, pitchers especially are who they are, right? They're not going to go from sinking the ball to riding the ball. So, we've been preparing. The one thing they all do is they throw hard, right? It's super high end velocity. So we're going to have to do a good job of being above the baseball and swinging at strikes and taking the ball. If they don't walk that many people, the guy you mentioned, the switch pitcher guy, he leads the team in walks, but everybody else has very high strikeouts and very low walks.
Billy, basketball-wise, we've been doing some research, and obviously it's still the same storyline. Nebraska shoots threes. A&M's a better rebounding team. We're going to hear from both squads later on today. We'll be at the shoot-around there here in Memphis. But just when you think about Nebraska, outside of threes, is there anything that worries you, or is it really about A&M dictating their tempo and their will?
I think what worries me is it is Nebraska's shooting, because we've seen A&M over the last, let's say, 3 years when they've been good tournament-worthy teams. A lot of their worst losses have come when teams have been red hot and drilling open three after open three after open three and finding a weakness defensively, right up until that last game against Florida. Now, I will say a lot of those Florida threes were contested. They were just white hot. Certainly when you get a guy that's averaging 2 points a game, he comes in and just starts getting buckets and hits for 20-something. But I think this is – look, I heard y'all this morning. It's like Nebraska's never won a tournament game, and you said, what's Buzz's record in the tournament? And Olin said, well, it's 0-1 at A&M. Well, we're talking about Nebraska's history, so why not keep it a buck, keep it fair, talk about Buzz's history. Okay, so unless you're talking about these specific teams, I'm more concerned with these specific teams. But I do think with A&M, if Buzz and the Aggies can get past this first game, I felt the same way last year. They can get past that first game. He has proven in his career and at A&M, with the one exception, in the last 3 years or so, being that Penn State game, which, again, there are similarities here.
Senor Lanham,
Man.
before you take off your, this is how we close out the show.
Oh, is this how we do it?
So you've never watched the entire way. You stop early on the rewind. I can tell.
Man. Uh-oh.
Tell the people what to do.
Hey, what are they doing?
What do you think they should do?
I think they should buy some concrete and asphalt.
Well, yes, that's for sure. From our friends there.
Yeah. But I think they should subscribe,
there
and
we
follow.
go. Like, comment, subscribe. Get an Alpha Paving hat.
Get an Alpha Paving hat. That's right.
Concrete.
Yeah.
And send spam tweets to Brandon Leone.
Yeah. At Mr. Prez with a Z.
Mr. Z. Oh, yeah. Mr. Prez with the Z. It's the Rewind. We'll see you next time.